Yo, 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 new day, new deal, Hollow Knight Nation and One Piece Nation, we are here, and we are, by here I mean, we are finally in fucking ELBAF. If you don't want to get spoiled, piss off. But for all of you who have seen the newest chapter, being chapter 1130, we are finally officially in ELBAF, and it is no longer mere speculation. Okay, now in retrospect we have been in ELBAF for a couple chapters, but we are finally in ELBAF, which is insane. It is so wild that we are actually here. It feels unreal. Because this shit has been, it's been hyped up for, okay, not really hyped up, but it's been built up to for, what, 20 years? All the way back in Little Garden, from like, I think Little Garden is like chapter 120, 130. I know chapter 100 is when we enter the Grand Line at Reverse Mountain. You know, you have a couple arcs, then Little Garden, where we get introduced to giants. We know that giants exist now, and they're just two giant captains just beefing it out over some random shit that it's canon that they forgot what they were fighting about, which is really funny. And their bounties are, like, it's always been, like, kind of... It's never really been mentioned, but I've always thought it a bit weird that, okay, these giants, they're captains of the giant pirates, the giant warrior pirates, and they only have bounties of 100 million each. That's kind of goofy. So the headcanon a lot of the community has had, including me, for quite some time, is that, okay, I mean, if they ever get in trouble again, if they ever show up again and do anything, their bounties are gonna skyrocket. And that is exactly what they have done now in the latest chapter. Because, you know, they've been beefing for, like, I think 100 years or something. So the equivalent of that now is that now, also because of their involvement in Egghead, they helped the Straw Hats escape and all that. They now have a pretty good bounty of 1.8 billion each. Absolutely goated, absolutely peak. So that means that Mr. 3, who beat them way back in Little Garden, he should have a bounty of at least 3 billion. That is my headcanon. We don't have a bounty for Mr. 3, but it should be up there. Yeah, Mr. 3 hype is real. But holy shit, we're in ELBAF. I just have the final page here over on my screen just to, like, revel in this moment that we are finally here. We have the almost double page spread of just the entire island, which is, it looks smaller than it probably is, but it's all, you know, we've seen how fucking huge this entire castle is that we've, you know, been in for the last couple chapters. It's just, you know, in this castle there is a single room, and in this room there is, like, it's already giant, and the giant part of it is just, you know, it's normal human size. They're just like living dolls in there. And when you zoom out, like, it's insane to think about how much is zoomed out here. But the main thing I'm looking at here is not like the island itself, it's not like the mountains below. It's not like how, okay, there are, you know, there's a lot of things going through my mind right now. I'm fresh off reading the chapter. I have a lot of thoughts. But the main thing I'm looking at here is not a giant sword, but a fucking humongous, ginormous sword. Like, it goes nearly from the bottom to the top of Yggdrasil, or I don't think it's named Yggdrasil. Adam tree. I don't actually think this tree has an official name. It probably does, but it's not been confirmed yet. But you know, the giant tree that is, you know, mandatory for any story that has giants in it. The giant tree Yggdrasil. There's just a casual sword just standing there beside it. I don't know if there's some sort of like original giants and they were all wiped out, like some sort of race, and the giants we know today are actually just mini versions of like they're what humans are to giants. There was some other race that has now been erased from history. That is my original thought here, but I don't know if that is necessarily true. Or if I just shouldn't think about this. It doesn't look like a central piece of anything that, you know, the giants, they made it for like some sort of symbolism and they are worshipping it daily. I don't know, it doesn't look like that at least. It could be, of course. I'm not ruling anything out. But another thing, like, the thing is about the sword, it's on the opposite side of the Adam tree. Wait, the Eve tree is the one who makes the devil fruits, probably. On the top of on the top of YIBIIII, in the middle of YIBIIII. That is the Eve tree. Then this is very probably the Adam tree, which the Sunny is made out of. The Thousand Sunny, and you know, there is a giant city on the opposite side of this place, of this sword, where the sword sticks up. Another thing is just that this tree is in layers. I don't know. I didn't expect it to be in layers. I don't really know what I expected, but not that they actually lived on the tree. Which I guess it makes sense. I get, yeah, the branches are sturdy as hell, and even for giants, this is a giant fucking tree. Which would also make sense in terms of like if there was another race that was, you know, even gianter than the giants. Like for their size comparison, this is just like a normal tree. Maybe a bit smaller actually. I don't really know, or it's just a huge sword. Who really knows? But I don't really know what to think of this sword that is just chilling on the side of the Adam tree. It's weird. It's weird. But we're probably gonna get to that at some point. I don't assume that that's where the royalty lives. But it could be. It could always be. Now that I'm thinking about it, okay, this thought is immediately ruled out by another thing, but, you know, it's just revealed that the royal family of ELBAF has a devil fruit that is, you know, passed down through the generations. You know, maybe if that was a devil fruit to change sizes so that only one of the royal family per generation, not even per generation, per like however many generations until the devil fruit user dies, they can use the sword. They can use the giant sword, so they can just become fucking huge. But you know, there's already a guy who can do that on the Blackbeard Pirates. What's his name? I don't know. His nickname is Battleship, which I find really funny. He's just a ship. That's also why I think he's gonna be the final battle for Frankie because of his bounty poster. I don't know. It's kind of goofy that we got some bounties here, but we didn't get updated bounties for the Straw Hats, even though they totally should have updated bounties because of all they did in Egghead. You know, they could have easily used this as an excuse to up Luffy's bounty again, which I think personally, if I was the government, if I was the world government, I would have done, because these guys they need to get a fucking handle of the Sun God. They've needed that for a while, and you know, I don't know. they have informants who know what has been going on. Like, they have Cypherpol agents that know what has been going on in Wano. It's not like they don't know that the Sun God has been awakened. They just need an excuse to, like, not let the world know that the Sun God even exists. And this is the perfect excuse, so I don't know, I'm half expecting Luffy to have a higher bounty still, but it just feels kinda anticlimactic if that's, like, if that's what he gets his final bounty at. Like, if he only gets, like, a 1 billion bonus on his bounty, which is insane to say, like, quote-unquote, only 1 billion extra. So, you know, we could do that also to up his bounty to, like, Shanks levels now that we are in ELBAF, and again, I'm expecting Shanks to show up. It's gonna be a fucking tragedy if Shanks doesn't show up, and if they don't meet Shanks before he dies to Blackbeard. Yes, I think he is gonna fall to Blackbeard's hands. Because all of the scar symbolism and, like, future, like, foreshadowing for fights and stuff, you know, Shanks has that scar, and Blackbeard, I don't know. So my headcanon is that we're gonna find Shanks on ELBAF, and we are gonna have, like, on site, they're just duking it out, the two emperors here. And during that fight, he's, you know, they're gonna have their little moments, their little, finally, Luffy, you caught up to my powers, and, you know, shit like that. But at the very end, they're not gonna finish the fight, because Blackbeard is gonna come up and clean out Shanks. He's just gonna kill steal him. Not that Luffy wanted to go for the kill, but he just wanted to go for the win, right? Wanted to go for the W. But Blackbeard is, if he's here, he's 100% going to. That's another thing. We don't know if Shanks is actually here, because Shanks allegedly is just hunting for Blackbeard right now because he is way too dangerous. Also, if it is not actually Shanks' mysterious twin brother that was at Reverie, he also, like, Shanks has a pretty good history of, okay, a lot of this is just implied. As I'm talking about it, all of this is just, like, implied information. Like, if you have the same headcanon as me, you can follow my train of thought. If not, you're just lost. I'm sorry. But essentially, what was my train of thought? Essentially, we don't know why Shanks thought that Blackbeard was in Wano. You know, the whole reason why Shanks even pulled up to Wano in the first place was because he thought Blackbeard would be there. And we don't really know why. It feels kind of like a meta insert that, okay, we need some more Shanks stuff, so let us push through the end of Wano and have him show up in the manga and do something just before the release of Film Red, which I'm still mad about. It is still one of the biggest fumbles in the entire story, is rushing the end of Wano. Which feels weird to say, seeing how insanely long Wano is. I still don't know if I should consider Wano, you know, mainland Wano, and Rooftop, like, they're separate arcs. I don't really know, because other arcs have had the same antagonist, quote unquote. Like, for example, well, okay, these are a bit scattered, but take, like, Fishman Island and So, for example. They each had Big Mom and Kaido as, like, the quote-unquote bad guys, like, kind of looming in the background. You could have that exact same thing with mainland Wano, but we are just way closer, and also just the lead up to, I don't know, I'm just mad that we didn't get a full-fledged backstory, and we just got a quick little slideshow. I don't know, I have a lot of thoughts on Kaido. He could have been done a lot better. and I feel like we could have. There was potential to get a Rocks flashback, like a God Valley flashback properly, through Kaido, and if not, then right after, during Kuma's flashback. We also, we got a God Valley flashback, but just not of the most important stuff. We got a lot of important stuff, but not the most important. I'm getting sidetracked. We're talking about ELBAF here. We are in fucking ELBAF. God damn. So we finally get to meet Loki. That's a thing that wasn't on my bingo card as of this specific chapter. I should have healed. God damn it. But yeah, we meet Loki very suddenly. Just like halfway through the chapter, we're outside of the castle of the guy who caught us, and we are just. We're waiting for some giants to pass the Hydrodin's underlings. Hydrodin? I've never said the name out loud. Hydrodin. Fuck. The Grand Fleet giant guy. His underlings are passing through the bridge, and it's kind of goofy because we haven't really officially met them before. And this would have been the first chance to do so, but we're just sneaking past them because apparently they have orders to like just annihilate every intruder, or at least capture them, every intruder that is coming to ELBAF. And they know that this kidnapper guy is kidnapping people who are trying to come into ELBAF. I don't actually know. We don't really get to know why they're there, just other than a, I guess, routine checkup on the guy who kidnaps a bunch of people. I don't know. It kind of feels like he is... The guy who kidnaps folks, he's just, like, imprisoned unofficially. But yeah, on the bridge, he's, like, sealed in a castle on, like... He feels like a Disney princess, right? But on the bridge, on the rickety wooden bridge, there... We get to see okay, this has been an actual awful run. I'm taking another one here. Let's go. I need to catch up on a couple days anyway. So when we're crossing this bridge, we just, there's something going on. We see Luffy just kind of look around, just kind of suspiciously, like, what the hell's going on here? Kind of like when when Kizaru showed up on Egghead. Like, he just, okay, not to the same degree, but he looked kind of shook. He just, who the hell is this guy? Not, it just tells me that this guy is oozing fucking hockey out of him. Just from lying there. He's giving me a lot of... from the way he's chained up, and even his laugh at the end of the chapter that I have right here on my second screen, he gives me a lot of Doflamingo vibes. And I don't know if that's accurate. I don't know. It could be yet another mirror of like what happened to because the whole there's a lot of similarities between Alabasta and Dressrosa. Like, Dressrosa is essentially what would have happened to Alabasta if Crocodile had succeeded. He would have taken over and just became king and just kind of done his own thing. He would have probably just like, I don't know, been king, read the poneglyphs and realized that nothing of significance was there, because we now know that something of significance was it was there, but he wouldn't have known, and he would have just sat on this poneglyph that he deemed important and just waited until, like, because again, we see that he is in the group of washed up old gen pirates, just like just like Moria, just like Well, that was the end of the list. I can't name any more other than Moria and well, basically all the warlords. They're just kind of washed up old pirates who have kind of given up on their dream, but not officially. They've, that's their shtick. God, I'm hungry. But yeah, he would have just sat there. What was my point in all this? Oh yeah, fucking Loki. This might be another spin on that. Like, Loki, I don't know, he tried to overthrow. We get told that he did successfully, not really overthrow, but kind of just, he killed the king. He killed who is presumably his father, the king, for his devil fruit. The devil fruit I talked about, the royal devil fruit. We still we don't get to know what the actual devil fruit is, which is, I don't know, making more questions. But we're beginning here at the end of One Piece. We're beginning to get a lot more answers than questions, which it has been the opposite all the way through the story until now. But yeah, I'm expecting some sort of other inversion, because a lot of the story is just like an inversion of presumably Emu, because Emu is an inversion of Doflamingo. Doflamingo is an inversion of Crocodile. If Loki is yet another inversion of Dofi, he's essentially also an inversion of Emu, and that whole thing. And we're getting closer and closer to, getting lower on Emu. I'm also expecting way more Void Century lore as we're getting into ELBAF, because some of the giants live for a long ass time. So I think the timeline works out so that some of them might still be alive. No, some of them might have like grandparents or something that's... Damn, bro did not stop spinning. Some of them might have like grandparents or something that lived during the Void Century. Like some of the older Jarls of the place of ELBAF. They might know exactly what's going on and have like way more accurate lore than we do, because right now the only thing, like, okay, I guess technically we have had a Void Century flashback. We've had like one panel of Joy Boy talking to Emmett, and that's it. That's fucking it. It's all silhouetted too. It kind of looks like he was standing on top of a giant poneglyph. I think personally it was a huge poneglyph, but it was, that one has been like, it's just been cut up with in my head canon, Buggy's fruit. That's why Buggy is so important. He needs to awaken his fruit and stitch them back together. I don't know. I love Buggy, but God, he has become, in my head canon, he has become a little too important. I would like him to just be, just faking it till he makes it. And he essentially he just continues failing upwards, and he has succeeded very much in that aspect. But I don't want him to be like, prophesized important like Luffy is. Yeah, I don't know. I still don't really know what my opinion on the Luffy being a literal god, what my thoughts are there, but hey, at some point I'm gonna have to learn to live with it, because that's how it is. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm good. So I lost my point here. But yeah, we finally get to see Loki actually, and the more I see of Luffy, the more I think his ELBAF fit is so hard. He wears a, mainly three distinct things. He has a warrior's helmet, you know, those Viking helmets with little horns on them. I don't know. I heard somewhere that real Vikings actually didn't have horns on. They just had like goofy round, like just casual rounded helmets. I don't know if that's canon. I don't know if it's real. But other thing he has is a cool ass fucking cloak and a cool ass battle axe that he wears upside down, which is cool as fuck. I don't know. Okay, so hvad vil du?
Jo, jeg har lige steriliseret alt udstyret. Skal jeg bare begynde at varme vand op, så det er sådan koldt nok til i aften, og så kan vi begynde at fermentere der.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. Alright. Yeah, we get to see the other guys. I need to go over to the chapter to review their fits here. But I don't think they're that significant. I don't know. I like Frankie's, but that's mostly because it's not really a Viking. He just has he has his cool cowboy hat back, and that is pretty fire. There is a lot of Brook jokes in here. There's some of them more subtle. I don't know. He has one where he, you know, all of the Straw Hats input on insert thing here, and his brain is just fucking empty. His noggin is completely empty. Just like dragons, I also like the dragon memes with him thinking triple dots, confirming that there is nothing going on in there. Straight fire. But there is a lot of Brook jokes. Brook doesn't have really an ELBAF fit. I don't know if they just don't have their fits yet. Or if they're... Wait, is this actual... Wait, what was Frankie's fit? No, Frankie does have a different fit. Is it just scatter? It looks a lot like Jinbei is still just in his regular egghead fit. No, he's not in his egghead fit. His egghead fit is... do they just have normal fits? I don't really know. But anyway, Sorrow looks absolutely atrocious. His glasses, his like bandit thieves goggle thingies, they should be kept off of this man. It would be a crime to let him wear that for even one more second. I know I'm a big hater. I know that a lot of people like this. But I don't. I really couldn't care less. It looks so bad. Been there. But yeah, I don't really know what to make of. Shut up. Yeah, I know my thing is on the left hand side. I don't want to hear anything about it. I should probably grab some of the blood hearts without dashing the wrong way. Ah, fucking shit, ow. I cut my finger on a knife this morning and it hurts so bad. It was a pretty deep cut. Just from like, yeah, the worst knife we have in the house, in the apartment. I made a deep ass cut and it has only just begun to heal. So that sucks. And I just hurt it real bad by, I don't know. What is? Damn, I have so many thoughts that I don't know how to put into words. About everything in ELBAF already. I don't really know. The thing is, I have so many questions that I can't really answer. Like, you know, is Shanks here? Is any other emperors gonna be here? What about, like, you know, Bartolomeo? Where last we saw of him, he was just like sinking to the bottom of the sea. Because apparently YEHAAW was on some fucking demon time. Same with the Kid. Bro. Kid is... I don't know, I could easily see him coming back and this being his, like, Wano. because god damn it, that was embarrassing. Because in Wano, Luffy, you know, the very first thing that happens to Luffy is that he gets one-tapped by Kaido. And that is pretty hype, but you know, he's the main character, so he has to come back in some way, shape, or form. But that's not guaranteed with Kid. And also, you know, Oda said at some point, he did know Kid was one of the only supernovas he actually knew what to do with, like what his story was gonna be. So it's, I don't know, I respected so hard if Kid's entire existence is just to hype up Shanks. I would respect that so hard, but then again, I could easily see him just coming back just like Luffy to again be a mirror to Luffy, and you know, I don't know. There's a whole message in One Piece about like people not dying because it's, you know, taking their dreams away from them is a worse punishment. Something like that, and it's also I don't really know. I don't have a strong attachment to Kid. It's just that he had so much potential. And I'm just mad we didn't get to see that. He had such an interesting power, and I don't think that it's really been utilized well enough. Sure, it's again because it is such a cool power. It has been utilized, you know, in very cool ways. I'm one of the I'm dying. Shit, I'm one of the few people who actually really like his awakening. But again, like in his fighting against Big Mom, I don't think I don't know. I think the whole thing just stems from I don't think Big Mom was a big enough threat to the two of them, to Law and Kid. Don't tell me I'm about to die here. That would be yucky. Uh-oh. Okay. So yeah, the verdict is I don't really know what to expect from like going forward in ELBAF. But I guess that's the hype of it. That's the, you know, old school One Piece. We don't know where we're going. That was not where I wanted you to go. Shit. This is a good enough place to stop here, yeah. 2-week break. This sucks, but we're here. Yeah. Yeah. I have nothing more to say. Let me grab a bite to eat and be back. Later, nerds.